Now that the temperatures have finally cooled down, it's beginning to feel like winter in the desert. With the cooler temperatures, we've seen a steady decline in insect abundance. However, if temperatures pick back up, we would anticipate an increase in insect pressure. Remember, insects are poikilothermic, cold-blooded. With that, it is always interesting to look back over this past fall in anticipation of what we might experience this spring. A quick look at both recent and historic data on pest abundance recorded from Yuma Center Research Plot and the area-wide trap networks suggests that insect pressure this fall was much lower for most pests compared to last fall. First, whitefly adult numbers collected from our area-wide traps were considerably lower than last year. Furthermore, sticky trap captures of whiteflies placed adjacent to cantaloupe fields from Welton to Texas Hill were the lowest we've seen since 2008. Cucurbit yellow stunting disease virus incidence estimated at harvest in cantaloupe fields in these areas was significantly lower than we've seen on fall crops in several years. Surprisingly, virus incidence was also markedly lower in fields in Welton and Rowe, growing areas that have typically had high rates of virus infection. We're not sure why our virus and whitefly pressure was so much lighter this year, but maybe related to the decrease in cotton acreage last summer. Similarly, Lepidopterus larvae, beet armyworm, cabbage looper, and courier worm population abundance on untreated lettuce at the Yuma Agricultural Center this fall was the lowest we have recorded in 4 years. Populations began infesting plots in early September and remained steady throughout early October, but began to drop significantly in late October and through November. Our pheromone trap catches on the area-wide trap network also show that moths were much less active in October and November relative to last year. The cooler temperatures, particularly nighttime temperatures, are likely responsible for this. Based on our estimate weather stations here at the Yuma Center, the average ambient temperatures this fall in November was an average of 5 degrees lower than November last year. Finally, bagrata bug infestation samples from untreated broccoli plots at the Yuma Agricultural Center were the lowest we have observed since the invasive stink bug first showed up in 2010. As expected, populations appeared in mid-September, but never increased to the high numbers we have typically seen during October. Since mid-October, adults have been difficult to find in broccoli and cabbage plantings here at the UMAC Center. Western flower thrips population numbers have been relatively high in some areas, but have dropped recently with the cooler weather. We have picked up winged green peach aphids on sticky traps and can find an occasional colony on untreated plots. How these aphids and thrips numbers will translate into potential population pressure in the spring is unknown, but you should anticipate their abundance as usual. If we have a wet winter, El Nino experience suggests that aphids may be quite abundant, where in contrast, thrips don't do well in wet growing conditions. Nonetheless, graphics showing recent trends in whitefly CYSDV, cucurbit yellow stunting disease virus, Lepidopterus larvae, and bagrata abundance, and weather summary can be found at the document Pest Abundance on Desert Produce and Melons Crops in 2015, located at the Arizona Cooperative Extension website. Thank you.